Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome. My setup right now, okay, hold on, the date is, it's the middle of the night at the moment, it's 3 a.m. It's Friday the 5th of February. I was last recording like January, it's been a while. But hey guys, today we're starting Chapter 5. My monitor came that I was talking about. Those of you watching my other videos and stuff will know about that already. But my setup is completely different now. It's kind of cool though. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so moving into Chapter 5, we have an awful lot to do, as you saw just now at the end of the last episode. And I'm fairly excited about Chapter 5, at least the very start of it, because you get like huge amounts of payoffs, tons of cutscenes, very little to do. You just get to like enjoy and reap all the rewards of everything that's been going on, all the comspheres that you've watched, loads of stuff. And that all begins even now here on the airship. So first of all, as you run through, everyone's going to talk to you when you leap over this, which is great. Hey, Shinra.
We know Vegnagun is in the deepest reaches of the far plane. The only way in is to jump into one of those holes.
Yeah, but which one?
There's one in Besaid, one in Kilika, and one in Jose Temple.
Don't forget the comm lands, the cave at the bottom of the gold.
That little line there
And the hole that Vegnagun opened up in the Bavel Underground.
only appears if you've been there.
So, which one do we jump into?
Who cares? We just pick a hole and dive!
Brother!
Yuna! You can decide which hole we pick.
Okay, fine. So, from now on, Chapter 5, this is like, you know, in 10, where you got the airship, you got to do some stuff, and then you changed the airship later on. The airship changed, and it went like sunset, and everyone's position moved, and then you got to know all the characters in that very last place. Here we go. This is it. This is what the airship looks like forevermore. These guys in kind of a triangle, Shinra over in his seat. Brother's no longer piloting, though. Brother will always stand here, and if we speak to him...
Made up your mind? Where will we jumping?
You can choose to enter the far plane. And that basically takes you to the end of the game. Where, you know, if I was really focused, I could give that to you right now in this episode. You know, we could have like an hour-long video and be at the end of X-2 right now. But, of course, we don't want to do that. We are going to have some reason to go in here first and then come back out later, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. For now, we're just going to say we haven't decided. And, yeah, the Calmlands that Payne mentioned there, if we didn't do that in Chapter 3, it wouldn't be available. Now, you could go in Chapter 5 and do it, so it's not like we've totally missed out, but, yeah. We're going to say we haven't decided. So what does Payne say? Right at the start of the chapter, she says it's our turn to do something. Is it now? I thought we were taking a back seat, Payne. I'm not willing to bank on these guys pulling it off alone. Rikku says, well, Uni, what do you say we take charge of cleanup Spira? Now, if we go talk to Buddy, we're going to get a ton of hotspots.
We got a message from Besaid a little while ago. Looks like Lulu finally had her baby.
Ooh.
Really?
Let's go see them.
They were so excited.
There's a message from Kilika too. Apparently, things are getting a little messy.
More bickering?
Sort of. Now it looks like they're bickering over the fact that all the bickering stopped.
Figures.
Yeah, what do they have to argue? Do you know what? There's something strikes me about this game. It's like, let's make a girly Final Fantasy, and of course we have to have a story about childbirth in there. Is it just me? I feel like they did that on purpose. I feel like it's so stupid. Whew. Jesus Christ. Now, yes, we have a hotspot for everywhere in the game. You see how Calmlands isn't a hotspot? In theory, if I had been perfect with my way to play through the game, and I'd match made perfectly to everyone, well, advertise the company, I think even this would be a hotspot as well. Or maybe that's like some really obscure weird thing. But basically the entire game has got stuff going on. We're not going to touch that just yet, because actually, now that we're in Chapter 5, there's a lot more stuff that happens on the airship too. See, depending on your percent completion of the game, more and more things will unlock for you. So, as we come over here, like bonus scenes and extra things, sometimes, in my opinion, really important story that you just otherwise would never get in the game. So, for example, our current save file, this is one of our save files, we're about 88% complete, all right? When you hit 60% completion of the game, it unlocks a special scene here. When you hit 75%, it unlocks a scene. When you hit 90%, 95%, and maybe even a little bit higher. There's different thresholds, right? And it unlocks bonus things on the airship. So we're going to check those out. And we're going to get... Chapter 5 is pure payoff time now, right? All the little things that I've been talking about, all the side quests we've had going on, we're going to complete now. And how about we start with the one in the cabin, where we've been asked to rest every chapter. Remember? By God, I've mentioned enough. I think I've rested each chapter, guys, and then I've like bonus rested each chapter just to be sure, like 3 or 4 times every single one. I'm so happy that this actually worked. So here we go. One of the more hidden scenes of the game. Of course, we got 3 chocobos here. Of course, Carly's still here. She now says, when the brothers feels down, he comes blubbering to barkeep. Oh, really? When you fell in that hole, poor barkeep had an awful time trying to calm brother down. That's interesting that she'd talk about that. We've certainly never seen brother in here, have we?
Miss Yuna, what can I do for you?
I don't know, barkeep. How about we have a bit of a rest?
Sleep tight.
We're going to unlock another function of the shop here, quite randomly, and associate it with something crazy. But maybe what Carly was just talking about isn't quite so crazy. The 5th and final time you rest, one in every chapter, Yuna wakes up. Look, I like how the sky isn't moving out there very much at the moment. Oh, God. I still maintain this is the best place to read a book. The best place. But then...
What should I do?
Ah!
If you rub her, tell her how you feel, yes.
No, I have said
This is the end of Brother's perviness.
Miss Yuna turns her back on you.
Maybe it is better that
It's
way.
weirdly written as well, to be honest. Very weirdly written.
I like Yuna's back.
She has nice backside, yes.
Yeah. No. These past 2 years, Yuna has always been looking ahead into the distance. Always her back is to me. I like this Yuna even more than the Yuna that is facing me.
Aww.
Enjoy.
Oh!
The heart of man is complicated.
You know what I say. We two are poor bachelors, yes?
Speak for yourself, Sonny.
Hi, sweetie.
This is my darling, yes?
What? When?
It is your design of destiny.
Me and Robert first, Sonny.
Oh, stop.
Oh, ew. Even the chocobo's watching. Oh, I thought he was going to walk through the chocobo. It's a completely bizarre scene. Absolutely crazy. Brother says that he loves us. Yuna just... It's weird, the whole story they do there. Let's not even point out the cousin thing again, right? My God, it's absolutely crazy. There's quite a few other things I wanted to talk to you guys about with the previous recorded session as well. But check it out. Look. And now... But his dossier's changed. But look, you never actually get to speak to Barkeep on his own now. You get this kind of monstrous combo of the two.
What can we do for you?
What can we do? Yes. So the other Hypello is called Darling. You can't ever like speak to her properly. Apparently, yeah, female Hypello. This is the only one I think we've ever seen. There's none that appear in any of the like the Fiend Tales or anything like that. This is it. It's Darling right there. And obviously there's got to be a female. It's kind of like the whole female dwarf thing. But then also you get the pet shop now. See, and you get the lady Hypello talks to you, and she gives you this service of changing the name of your pet, so you can change. So you've got Geeky the monkey, Payne's pheasant, or Yuna's dog Kogoro. If you guys have got other names for these, totally up to you. Go for it. We could name them after like some of the GW1 characters. I don't know, but this is down to you guys. I'll let you know, and then by the end of the series, maybe we'll change their names. But I don't know how much more trainer I'm actually going to be showing off to you all. But yeah, that's how you unlock the pet shop.
See you soon.
Again, another one of those features that I never unlocked on my first initial playthroughs years ago, and it's kind of one of the crazy things you can get about the cabin. I think that's the final state of the cabin now. Carly, 3 chocobos, Barkeep, and Darling, which is pretty cool. Let's go down to the engine rooms for the chests. There were a few things from the previous episode as well I wanted to talk to you guys about. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of that 1,000 words cutscene. A lot of different versions. Someone in the comments actually specifically mentioned Yuna falling to her knees at the end and continuing to talk, and that is one of the other versions. The Japanese version of the song was way longer. Yeah, that's all correct, guys. Anyway, so here, the engine room, something else is going to unlock for us. And again, it's only because we've got a lot of % completion. And this is really cool. It's about the founding of the airship. It's stuff that I actually think should be primary story, should be main story for the game, but it's kind of just a bonus scene for those who have really paid a lot of attention. What you want to do is walk all the way to the back here to this wall with 60% plus completion, and then try and leave.
Better keep your distance. Wouldn't want to lose a finger or something.
Ah, buddy! Of course he'd work in the engine room.
That's my baby.
It's like you're talking to a person.
Well, of course. After all, this ship is one of the Gullwings too, you know.
Really now?
She's been around longer than me, huh?
Of course. So where the hell did this airship come from? A huge part of the game, the airship, right? Where did it come from? There's 2 scenes.
Me and her met for the first time right after you brought us this comm of yours.
I'd caught word that an old airship was at the bottom of the sea, way up in the north.
Me and brother made our way through a sea of ice. A fog moved in so thick we couldn't tell west from east. On top of that, we were freezing our blitz balls off. Yep, I thought we were done for.
Freezing our balls off, huh?
Then it appeared above us, a single gull, flying along out of nowhere, as if it had come to save us, right? We didn't have a lot of options, so me and brother chased after that gull with everything we had left. And, by some stroke of luck, we found this ship nestled within the ice.
Ah. I love the idea of them being up north that there's some crazy extra northern plateau.
Along with our winged rescuer.
Oh, so that's why we're the Gullwings.
See, so now, if you have even more % completion, the scene will extend and you'll get even more. So there's like 2 different parts to the whole backstory, and the second bit starts now. It's done kind of clunky, but yeah.
And that's not all.
Woo!
Yeah?
Actually, never mind.
Oh,
Buddy, please.
come on, buddy.
Oh,
There you go, see, he only wants to tell us if we have high enough. But come on, this is so cool. The whole airship is built around the game. Talk about some northern cool icy
We were lucky to
place.
find the airship, but we were still on thin ice, so to speak. See, we had nothing to eat. We were nearly dead from hunger. Yep, I really thought we were done for.
then it appeared above us, out of nowhere, a single gull, as if it had come to save us, right? With the very last of our strength, we bagged that bird, and then we...
Oh, God. Yuna's going to be very disapproving of them eating a bird.
Buddy?
What?
Thanks. I think I've heard enough.
Why?
That bad?
No.
That bad, hmm?
No, buddy, really, it's not that bad. Come on, you're dying. Like, it's an extreme scenario. So, yeah, that's really cool, right? I mean, just after the calm it comes, then they go off and they go do all that. That's really badass. I like it a lot. But, yeah, so there's those scenes there. We will unlock more as well around the airship, but those are the first 2 that you can get. And actually, at the moment, before we go to do all the Chapter 5 stuff and the % completion really starts rolling in, we're not going to... be able to get any higher than that just yet. So how about this time we go back to the bridge instead of the deck, and we take care of some other things. Now, I know we just did Chapter 4. I know, where there were a ton of comspheres. Some of our comspheres are actually still active, all right? I wonder if these girls mention anything. She says, "What's wrong? You don't look so good." Oh, what? In reference to me having an upset stomach over the bird? Now that you mention it, I remember brother mumbling, "Forgive me, winged rescuer," during his beauty sleep. Oh, that's brilliant. Never forget to get the dialogue from those people. Damn it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to speak to Shinra.
My last mission with the Gullwings.
Don't worry, you got a fair few missions with us yet, dude. At least grind-wise, I've got a lot going on. So yeah, if we check the dossiers, you've got Barkeep here.
It is your design of destiny.
And, yeah, a Hypello couple working on the Celsius. It seems the 2 met while Darling was working for Tobley's PR team. Now, you remember last chapter that we got about 1 million Hypello on the airship and they were getting fired off like torpedoes, remember? I guess she came on at that point. She's from the PR team.
My lad.
But what we're going to do is check out the comspheres again just a little. And yeah, there were a lot of comspheres. I even had during one of the podcasts that I record, someone dropped a comment and said, "Wow, how do you feel about this many comspheres?" I really like the slice of life kind of style that you get and the weird gameplay from them, but I get it, there's been a lot. However, we can finally finish things now, so let's check out Besaid Island. Hey, Waka! What's going on? You know, we could just go to you this time. It's not even like Chapter 4, but we're going to hang around here, I suppose, and just see what's going on. Mind you, he's just pacing. I wonder if we can only do this later when, after we've been everywhere. Let's see. Does he want to talk to us? Waka? Hey, bro. Oh my God. What happened? I missed it. Did the dog break it? Oh god, we're getting carried off? Was it the dog? Did somebody pick it up? Oh my god, guys, I had my guide. I had the guide on my lap for the game because I was going to try and see whether we really could look at all the comspheres yet, but apparently we can't. We're good.
This can't be good.
Oh, hello, doggy. No, and we're offline and we're stuck at the temple. All right, cool. So this is the theme of these comspheres. They're all going to break somehow. All right, well, Luca, this is actually an angle of Luca we saw before. And it told us it was offline or whatever before. I wonder whether anything specific is going to happen while we watch here. Certainly doesn't seem like it, so we'll just move on.
I'm picking up interference from some powerful sphere waves in the area. We can't connect.
Damn. See, we were having problems with that when he was originally placing it. So though that may seem like a cop-out kind of scene, like, oh, this just randomly broke, we were having problems with that when he was originally placing it, and we do know that there's a lot of sphere activity going on there, given that mysterious door, right? Now, this next one's the Moonflow. It allows you to go in, but if you remember, this one already broke because of the shoe puff that sort of ran on it and destroyed it and trampled it before. Or moved past it and shook it to breaking. So, yeah. Guado Salam, we have the entrance to the Syndicate. Hello. Hey, what's up? Oh, what are you doing? Okay, it gets stolen at Guado Salam. Great.
I think our comm sphere has been hunted.
Oh, it's a sphere hunt. Great. Thunderplanes. Can we catch another thing with a Choco Porter, maybe? Can we? Oh my god, you see there's a lot of craziness going on with these. Ah, it's a Chimera. Hey, man. How's it going? It seems they've got a bit of...
Fried.
And we get struck by lightning. It seemed like there was something weird going on with fiends there. That'll be explained when we head there in Chapter 5, don't you worry. Ah!
I wonder what this sphere is.
Hey, once. No, once!
I think we've been burgled.
Once! Damn it, I just wanted to talk to you. You've been missing in action from the story for oh so long. Well, Bevail really wasn't that great. We saw a tiny flash of it, and then it kicked us out without me asking it to. Okay. Hello, Mr. Chocobo. I think I know where this is going. How are you doing today? You doing... Ah, don't peck at us. No. Cue glass smashing sound effect. Wow, Shinra going quay. That's how I sounded in the last Let's Play when we were at Jose Temple, man, and I didn't know what I was referring to.
No use. It's frozen solid.
So, same scene as before here at the Gagazette Gate, but we can't move, even though she dried it off, remember? I guess the point is that, you know, a comsphere here in the cold, the ice is just going to do us in. And I can't move it at all, so we just have to press squared to finish. And last of all here, we've got Zanarkand with monkeys! Weirdly, scarily close.
Monkeys?
Yeah, Shinra, hey, monkeys. They seem alright, though. Are they going to actually break it? And that's pretty much it. Some of them you can actually load into, and as far as I can see, don't have, like, breaking animations or whatever. Look how happy he looks, smiling. But yeah, this is the last of the comsphere stuff, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. And with all of that complete, let's actually get out and explore the world. Now, there's only one place that I really have on my mind right now that I really want to show you guys before we do a whole tour. Now, you might think to yourself, okay, what order we do things in? It might be nice to go Besaid, Killer, Kaluka, Mihen, you know, all the way, like the pilgrimage, you know, like we almost wanted to do in Chapter 1 but never did. What about a reverse pilgrimage? Well, a reverse pilgrimage might be a good idea in some ways because actually Zanarkand Ruins has a bug. And that bug is if you leave it to the very, very, very last place and you do everything else in the chapter and leave it for the absolute final thing, when you complete the Zanarkand stuff, it doesn't kick you back to the airship. And so technically speaking, that causes you to lose 100% completion. Or at least to get the final class of the game. So you might want to do Zanarkand first, but we're not going to do that either. I did just go down there. We'll catch that later in the series. There is something very cool there, including our final conversation with Macon. But instead of that, I'm going to do a cheeky cut, and instead, I'm going to do the main thing on my mind. I want the conclusion to the Mihen Highroad stuff. For God's sake, it's been long enough. Will we finally get to the bottom of this mystery? Don't miss the thrilling conclusion, Gullwings. And absolutely right now, yes we are. This is a fantastic cutscene. This is the final reference, the final link between Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII. How is that possible? How is that related to the Mihen Highroad? Well, we shall see. Our proprietor, Lin, is presenting the results of his investigation into the Highroad's troubles of late. Would you mind accompanying me to the travel agency? Not at all, I wouldn't mind. Oh, we can't right now. You want to be careful with this, because not at all, it sounds like you're turning her down. But no, you say not at all. I definitely want to go see. Rin, what have you found out? Rin, you were really weird before, and though we may have discovered a bunch of things that could have given you evidence, you instead started being kind of shady, I went to see your concert at the Thunder Plains the other day. I must not get out enough because the journey really tuckered me out. Well, it's quite a long way. I love the way she says tuckered. That means that the British voice I just gave her was absolutely perfect. I do think we live in a time when there's no need to fear Machina. But still, I wonder, what if the Machina malfunction again? Well, this one stopped looking at you funny. I'm sorry, that's not for sale. Actually, what does she sell, I wonder? Just before we do this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to delay it. Did she get a new Chapter 5 thing? Apparently not. Okay, that's fine. All right. The shop's mainly update between the first 3 chapters. All right, let's go out. Rin. The cutscene we're about to see, there are a lot of different versions, and I will explain why very, very soon. Ah, it's a chocobo! Were the chocobos the cause? We saw a chocobo feather. We saw a chocobo eater.
This chocobo was being employed to power a ferry boat, so I purchased him.
Ah, okay.
What did you find out about the Machina incidents?
Yeah, wait, hold on. We had to ask him about the Machina incidents. He just randomly bought a chocobo. He wasn't even going to talk to us. All right, what have you found out, dude? Listen to the ominous music, guys.
I have deduced that both the hover incident and the malfunctioning Machina drones were accidents.
And what caused these accidents?
I am trying to clear that matter up. I asked my assistants to inspect our Machina some time ago.
An inspection? I had heard that it was an experiment to synchronize the Machina.
Ah, okay. Now, Yuna said that? What? Do you guys remember that? Maybe not, because we had this tiny little thing, a year-long break that happened in the series. I don't know. Let's ignore that. Back early on in the series, in Chapter 1, I spoke to a single person on the Highroad, remember? And he said he was trying to synchronize. Remember, we talked about the idea of the internet? That you have to, if you want this outcome, you got to speak, you got to get that dialogue. It's important, even though it seems like nothing out of the ordinary. Yes, Yuna, you're right. You did hear that. That was just from a random NPC. Well done.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yes, while performing maintenance to keep the Machina under control, we also experimented with upgrading them.
Did you, Rin?
But you still couldn't control them.
True, but
How about this? The modified Machina that went haywire might have been what attacked the hover.
Okay.
What's more, synchronized Machina always act in unison.
That's true.
One malfunction could have triggered a similar effect in all the Highroad's Machina. Something strange happened while we were investigating. Someone cut off our comspheres transmission.
Yes.
it broke?
No.
No, it was broken. We could see the culprit through a separate comsphere. Rin, it was you.
It's like
That's when I realized you never intended to catch the culprit. When I think about it, I've seen you on the Highroad a number of times now.
Really now? When?
Once before the Machina started acting strange, and then again.
Alright, the ones before the Machina were acting strange. What is Yuna talking about? Remember when I went into the agency after we got Carly her chocobo, okay? And at the exact moment that they locked off the north of the Highroad, that was when we went into the agency. We never had to. We could have easily just gone on the airship, but we went in the well, we actually came back down off of the airship, went in, and for that brief, tiny split second, we saw Rin, remember? Out of everything I've shown you in this video that's weird and mysterious going on, the only super important one that I really want, that I have to trigger, is right now, after everything's done, we're going to go into the agency and something else very small and very mysterious is going to happen. Let's see if you can catch this one too. Okay. That's basically it. We saw Rin, remember? Yuna remembers. She says, I saw you. And then, remember in Chapter 3, after the mission, where I said we had to do very, very well at the mission. If we did very well at the mission, in the cutscene at the end, you could see in the crowds, Rin was there in the background. And he looked puzzled. He was definitely there. So Yuna's right. But the only way she will say that, the only way to trigger this is by going in the agency and catching that and doing very well on the mission too. So good. Well done, remembered, Yuna. What's Rin doing here?
And after the incident was over. But before I could talk to you, you vanished, as if you didn't want to be seen.
He absolutely did see that
When
way.
the hover was destroyed, you knew the upgraded Machina were behind it. But then, when you tried to investigate, they all rebelled at once. So, you went around dismantling the rogue machina. Yes, while we were busy fighting them. Then, you slipped away just as everything was settling down. I am right, aren't I?
Oh my god, what a theory.
You are suggesting that my decision to upgrade the machina resulted in a number of casualties, and that I tried to cover it up.
You put the investigation in our hands because we were amateurs. You hoped we would botch the case.
Forgive me for asking in such a busy time, but might I request your help in this matter?
He sounded so insincere when he said, "Might I've had such a busy time."
And then I kept calling you, even though I didn't have any leads.
Yes, we did.
You would have objected to the meaningless interruptions if you really wanted to solve the case.
That's a good point.
I see. It appears I have underestimated you, Yuna.
Oh.
Why, Rin?
Oh.
If word got out that machina pose a danger, people would fear them and stop using them.
True.
So Yevon's not alone in sweeping things under the rug.
I firmly believe that machina are an indispensable part of Spira's development. Even if there is another incident, I intend to conceal the evidence.
Whoa.
You really think people will follow you that way?
I am not alone in my thinking.
Damn.
We are researching ways to extract the vast energy that sleeps in Spira and use it to power machina.
Okay, alright, last pause, I promise, guys. But this idea here, that they're researching ways to extract the vast energy that sleeps in Spira, any of you who have played Final Fantasy VII, you will know that they have a very similar system, a very similar world that fans of regular 10 pointed out that it seemed kind of similar. And when they made 10.2, they hidden in a couple of small places the idea that actually 10 was a very primitive version of that world, right? Of the Final Fantasy VII world. But many thousands of years earlier, perhaps, or something. That's why one of the main corporations in 7 is a corporation called the Shinra Corporation that do exactly what Rin is talking about. So the idea is Rin and Shinra together eventually set the path for the story of Final Fantasy VII, and it's a hint at the connection. And Rin, oh my god!
You're a jackass.
I will take that as a compliment.
Well, damn. And then Rin walks off, as you can see. We score the key item here. I guess he gives it to us or something. The Gipple Sphere. And then also, the Chocobo runs over to us, and it says you can now ride the Chocobos free of charge on the Mian Highroad. Talk to the hover attendant for more information. So now it's not just hovers, but the Chocobos do indeed come back. The whole idea of the Chocobos coming back is kind of more tied into the Carly stuff, if you never got her on the airship. Things that, unfortunately, I've not basically been able to show off in the series very well. But so yeah, how cool is that? Now, in my opinion, that is what I would consider the true ending of the Highroad. We could speak to Rikku. She says, what's gotten into Rin? Did he eat something weird? He was so menacing, and it was so good. It makes so much sense as well. If Rin really plans to change the world, we might find ourselves on opposing teams someday. How cool is that? Like, the idea of an X-3 just gets better and better and better. But here's the problem, and here's the reason I'm showing this ending to you guys right now before anything else. If we click Calmlands now, Calmlands, Jesus. If we click Mian Highroad, sorry, it says episode concluded. It says, well, things were hairy on the Highroad for a while, but trouble's over, ... for now. So though that's basically the ultra rare, hardest thing to trigger, super secret, crazy stuff. You saw the method, guys, right? Constantly calling Rin until eventually goes away. Really, really, really obscure. That's like ultra rare. But you don't get episode complete for it, because the story they went with, it kind of ends on a bit of a limp note, like a bit of a cliffhanger. So because of that, you can't unlock the final class of the game, and for all other intents and purposes, it's not actually the best way to do things. It's also the only way to get the key item Gipple Sphere, one of the treasure spheres, the only way you can watch this. So how about we check out this sphere? We've seen the scene, what I would consider the true ending, right? Jackasses, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go onto another file where we have a slightly different ending. Now, just before I click this, it says down here, chronicles Gipple's conversation with a certain man while hiding out in the desert. That exchange galvanizes Gipple to join the fight against the temples. Here's what's really cool about this. Back in Final Fantasy X, when we got to the Beacon Desert, okay, if you remember, we woke up in the Beacon Desert and we were all separated. And I said to you guys that there's a cool scene happening right now that you only get to find out about in 10-2. One of our characters, I said, was doing something. Well, we're about to have a surprise return of someone pretty cool.
Just got a transmission. Apparently the Guado are conducting a manhunt nearby.
Oh.
Orders are to locate the Sumner Una and kill her guardians.
Oh, so... it's Auron! Auron! Hey!
Maybe you ought to lay low for a bit?
That advice?
No, I just don't want you stirring them up. The temples are after me, too.
Then I apologize in advance.
You're fighting? I see. I'm tired of running from Yevon myself, and I have thought about fighting. I'd probably look like a jackass if I even suggested it.
Only a jackass can change the world.
Huh, good call.
Frikt, ge mig point.
Es kuki kubelgi vekker feder Yevon. You sec?
Frikt mega v.
Jackass. Fruit good.
Wow, man. So he's voice acted and everything. How cool. He sounds a little bit different. How cool is that, though? Why we get that on the back of Rin's thing, I have no idea. In addition to jackasses, we do, of course, have Crimson Record 5 as well, which LeBlanc gave us last chapter, if you guys remember. We've also got 7. I don't remember 7. I guess we've already seen 7. We must have already seen it. In any case, we're going to watch those a little bit later because what else can happen at the Me and Highroad? Since we never actually got episode complete there, how about I show you guys an alternate scenario? A scenario where Rin does see enough stuff to be able to pin the blame on someone else. And while the Rin ending is what I'd consider the ultra hard ending that gives you like that special thing and a very cool sphere showing Auron, what a cool reward, let's instead just get the regular hard ending. The hardest ending that also completes it for us. How about we do that? Alright, and what we're going to do is wait on this scene for the sound of that Machina. If you call Rin early before this thing starts moving, this won't work. But when the Machina's in front of you, call Rin. And he's going to walk over to it. And he says, allow me to investigate. And again, you wouldn't... just a second ago, I tried to record this with you guys. And Rin ran over and said, oh, nothing's going on, and walked off. And I thought I'd somehow devastatingly messed up. You have to wait a while for that Machina to move. So he says, allow me to investigate. He says, what have we here? There are footprints on this drone Machina. Huh. Footprints. Interesting. So with that, we're going to set course Rin onto another suspect. A different path. From there, we want to go back to the new road. And we're going to call Rin here. I believe we saw this one before. There are marks indicating something fell into the ravine.
It seems we are getting closer to the heart of the matter. Perhaps further investigation will yield the clues we need.
And in just those 2 steps, we move to the next investigation level already. By the way, guys, I believe that I never showed you before the old road. And that would be this one here. Nothing really crazy going on. I don't even think we really need to go here, but I wanted to show it at least in the series. We're going to go back to the hover crash site now. And the Machina are going to come. I'm pretty sure this appeared in a previous episode. I can't remember which scenes I've shown you guys so far. But all the Machina arrive, and we call Rin. The Machina appeared to have found a wounded man in the brush. Fortunately, his wounds are not severe. I'll take him to safety after I surveyed the area. Alright, so Rin's going to run off with that guy now. In the previous run-through, we never went to figure out what was going on there, right? So how about this time we do? We're going to go to the travel agency front. You should find Rin is now with the injured man that he dragged off. Before, we never bothered with this. But let's actually zoom in here and call Rin and see what he says that the injured man is saying. What happened, injured man? Rin says, have you found something? The man was found injured on the old road earlier, spoke deliriously as I brought him here to safety. Alright, what did he say? What happened? This new information has proven most enlightening. Ah, okay, interesting. So what did he say? You're not going to tell us? Well, can we zoom in? You actually can't do anything with him there. But yes, so you want to talk to him there. And then lastly, go behind the travel agency. And up there, you'll notice there's a guy working on the roof. Huh, so he's like repairing the roof. That's kind of cool. Now, if we call Rin. Oh, the guy falls. Whoops. Have you found something? Yes, look, this guy fell. That looks so painful. He's not even doing anything. I'm glad to see he's not hurt. Thankfully, the drone machina also seems to be alright. If a shock alone caused it to malfunction, we would be in trouble. Machina, shock. Oh ho ho!
I believe it is all starting to fall into place. I will handle the rest of the investigation and think more on this evidence. I am grateful for your help, Lady Yuna.
Okay, so there you go. We are now done, and we have a different conclusion. Rin actually came to a different thought. So there you go, guys. That is the alternate scenario. Now let's see what the cutscene's like at the end. And let's get a bit more of a normal ending. Let's see what Rin does should he have enough evidence to think of something else. This time, no chocobo, and there's a crowd of people here.
I am glad you are all here.
Hello, Rin.
I would like to talk about the recent string of incidents occurring on the Highroad.
He caught the chocobo catcher. Interesting. Now, I'll just tell you guys straight away, one of the things you can do, as should be pretty obvious, is you can peg it on the chocobo catcher. That is not an ending we're witnessing here, though, but he has caged one up. He says, first, let us discuss the circumstances surrounding the hover crash. You notice that this bit isn't actually cutscene. It's because the text that appears right now is very dependent on the kind of things that you did during the game. He says, marks found along the new road seem to indicate something fell from the road into the ravine below. He also says the injured person found near the crashed hover has been identified as its pilot. Ah, it was his pilot. See, Rin could be lying here, given him the other ending. I like to think that he was lying and the pilot was like, I know what you did, Rin, or something. I don't know. And he says, now, let us consider the runaway drone Machina. The Machina can only be configured for operation through a control panel behind the agency. Yep. Naturally, I considered that someone might have tampered with that control panel. In fact, there's a scene where you can kind of see, it seems like someone has been tampering with it. However, after seeing a man fall off the agency's roof, another possibility struck me. An impact, were it strong enough, could also be enough to cause a Machina to malfunction. Such an impact would not necessarily require beastly strength. Even someone weak could deal a forceful enough blow with a little help from nature. Gravity, I guess he means. Suppose, for example, someone were to jump down from a great height. That would do it. So he's saying jumping on a Machina might...
Now then, let us try to figure out who perpetrated these nefarious acts.
Damn.
We have already heard some testimony. The hover lost its balance and overturned while attempting to avoid a passerby. But who could that passerby be? According to the hover's pilot, it was an Albed female.
Ah, this random chick here, she's shaking her head.
We found footprints on one of the malfunctioning Machina.
Footprints? We did.
So, let me ask you all. Has anyone recently been to the ruins at the Highroad's south end? And
yeah, we
does
did.
Anyone recall jumping down from a great height?
Yeah, we... Rikku?
What? No one else?
One final question.
Rikku, what?
Would the Albed ladies please raise their hands? Please try to recall what happened, Rikku.
And on this version, we actually get flashbacks. So here is an alternate ending, and explain some of the other stuff I've cheekily teased you guys about. One of the other people, by the way, is Prophet. That's a really cool one. Prophet, the idea is like he did it to try and get chocobos back. But check it out, here's the end of the mission. Check it out, it's us with Carly, right? This is back in chapter 2. And Carly's running around, very nice. It's crazy, actually. This is chapter 2. This was when we brought the series back.
She looks happy.
Whatever works for her.
Remember this cutscene?
Shall we?
I said something weird was happening in this cutscene, remember? Some of you did guess it. Congratulations in the comments. You did see. Somebody said, is that a ghost hover? That's kind of weird. Look! Look! There was a hover there. And then the way it cuts, like, it cut last time, so you never saw the hover crash. But Rikku just totally caused a hover crash. And the way the cutscene is structured before, it does show that. And then here, of course, I mentioned this one a little bit more explicitly. That metal sound when she landed. Oh, she landed on a Machina. So this is what Rin is saying caused it. He's saying Rikku, through these things, caused it. For what it's worth, in Chapter 3, if you go another direction up the high roads, you can get another thing too.
It was me!
Precisely. The hover crashed while trying to avoid hitting you. And you caused the drone machina to malfunction when you landed on it. You, Rikku, are the one who caused these two incidents to occur.
You idiot, you ditz.
I am sure you meant no harm, but your carelessness invited disaster. Allow me to determine Riku's sentence, if I may.
Uh-oh.
What sentence?
What's she gotta do? See, here's the thing. Here's what I'll probably have to explain after the cutscene. But here's the thing. I really like the idea that it still was Rin, that he's just lying right now, that he's just thrown it on Rikku because that's what the evidence supports, and this throws the sights off of him, you know. And in some way, so I feel like all the endings should be episode concluded except the Rin one.
Didn't expect trash duty.
It's trash duty.
Phew, glad that's all over.
You must be tired.
As Neda the noob.
Oh, I love that she speaks out back there. Is Neda the noob? Hey, Rin.
Why the chocobos?
They were being employed to power a ferry boat, so I purchased them.
Huh.
That's great. But can I go home now? I picked up all the trash.
All of the trash?
Every last piece. Look.
Oh, God, the chocobo feathers.
Oof, yo.
No way.
I thank you for your hard work.
And he runs off.
Well, get plucking.
Plucking.
Ugh, this stinks. Feathers aren't trash.
The idea that he bought them from a ferry boat, by the way. Clearly the ferry boat that was in the first game, right? That we can't go on here. But there, you see, you get episode complete. So this is the true ending. I really wanted to, in the series, I wanted to work out a way where I show you the Rikku ending, and after the Rikku ending, I say, nah, I don't buy it. That doesn't seem right. What? Rikku fell on a machina, so all of that got caused? That's ridiculous. She caused the hover thing? How couldn't she have known she caused the hover crash, looking dead on like that? Something's not right. And then I would have loved to have been able to cut and do the crazy difficult Rin thing, and then give you that ending. But the way that the game structures it, if I do that, then I end up on a file that can't, you know, doesn't have everything fully 100%ed out, which sucks. So I don't know why they do that. It's really lame. By pegging Rikku rather than Carly as a suspect, Chocobo Eater, and Prophet, instead, if you do Rikku, you not only get episode complete, but you also get this thing here, Ragnarok. Ragnarok is a recurring accessory. From now on, as well, we can ride chocobos on the high road, talk to the hover attendant for more information, and we get kicked back to the Celsius. So Ragnarok's 0 MP cost, I believe. Pretty cool gear. In the original release of Final Fantasy X-2, I believe the only way to get Ragnarok was this mission, unless there was like one other special place to get it. In International, you can do it through the creature crate and all that stuff, of course, so it's actually not so bad. But yeah, you kind of have to fight. Do you want the badass sphere showing Auron and the crazy cool ending, or do you want 100% completion and Ragnarok? So there you go. That's the Mi'ihen Highroad mystery now satisfied. All right, so with that done, now we can explore the rest of the world. And how about, let's say, we begin, I don't know, with Besaid, with the baby, and we'll go through the worlds. Seems like a good as place as any, right?
Hey! It's a boy. You want to meet him?